And welcome back to Game 3 of the SoCal Regionals from Saddleback College. As Saddleback, now the home team hosting the Orange Coast College Pirates in this OEC matchup. And man, what a game in Game 2 went 10. Orange Coast won 9-8 as they forced this third game of the series, this rubber match. Well, winner goes on. Loser goes home. Corey Neyland and Albert Robles on the call. And Albert, a tremendous game, and nobody really wanted to go home.
Absolutely. I mean, the Bobcats, they absolutely wanted to go home, and that they, wanted to leave by having a victory over OCC. And the Pirates, they said, hey, we're not done yet. You put up 4 on us in the first, we're going to score 4 unanswered, and then 2 on top of that. And then it was a really contentious baseball game. They're on out.
And to start us off in this third game, the doubleheader today on this Saturday, and it's been a nice overcast day thus far as Owen Wessel got popped twice on the head in his first 2 at-bats in the first game today. Leads us off here is Damon Anderson Wolf.
And wouldn't you know it, Corey, we got some lights on in the baseball field.
Who would have thunk it to put up lights on a baseball or softball field?
I know, like in case your games actually go into the early evenings, or if you want to be able to host games beyond the daytime, that you can have lights so that people can actually see and enjoy and, play the game.
Novel idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bobcats.
Yeah, Saddleback has it right.
2-1 is the count to Owen Wessel.
We're definitely not calling out other teams.
Anderson Wolf gives up a single to Wessel. He gets his first hit of the game and leads us off, and that's going to bring up Taylor Takata. Takata had a hit and walked twice in the first game. Wessel, well, he didn't get a hit, but he scored twice and got popped twice. Hit by pitches in the first game and scored 2 of those 2 runs. And they're looking to get more as they got the first hit of the day, or excuse me, of this third game. There goes Wessel, lays it down, and it is foul by Takata. So Wessel had a good chance. He had such a good drum. If that's fair, they throw over to first, he's standing at third. And even if they don't throw over to first, he could still be standing on third if that's a fair ball.
And Takata really had the right idea to kind of get things going with a little sneaky bunt. Just barely eked over the foul line.
Anderson Wolf, his 13th appearance, his 13th start, which leads the team 4-3 overall on the season with a 4.75 earned run average. Misses outside, 53 innings pitched with 17 walks, 19 strikeouts this season. We'll set that defense in just one moment. Takata against the right-hander Anderson Wolf throws over to first base. Dangerous, we saw last game, as a couple got away to lead to runs for both squads. And that's one of the reasons why this score was 9-8. Damon Anderson Wolf, 5'10", 180-pound freshman from Aliso Niguel High School. Goes down at the knees. Strike number 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just started this third game. This will tell the story on who moves on next week. Albert, got to stop throwing away my papers.
I didn't do it.
Throw over to first again. Wessel is there in time. There we go. We're going to see who's going to face LA Valley. They're going up to LA Valley. And Fullerton. They won their games in this bracket. So next week is double elimination. Back over to first base. Safe again is Wessel sliding in.
That's going to be quite the trek to head up to LA Valley for both Saddleback and Fullerton. Not the easiest or shortest of drives.
No, but they take it. No drive is too far when you advance in the playoffs. So no matter how you get there or when you get there, time to play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Taylor Takata. Wessel, healthy lead at first. Anderson Wolf. Ain't no mind from the stretch. And that's strike 3, inside corner at the knees. Down goes Takata. So 1 away for Zach Late. Late in that first game, singled in Wessel in that first inning. I got caught trying to go for 2. 9-4-6 was the put out outside. Ball number 1 to Zach. Then struck out, reached on an error, and scored in the 5th inning. Struck out again in the 6th, hit by pitch, and scored in the 9th. Again, they're worried about Russell. Speedy player at first base. Scored 3 times in the first game today. That's game number 2. Saddleback back to the home team, the host team, as they're number 5 coming into the playoffs. Orange Coast on a sweeping curveball for strike 1. 1-1. Orange Coast came in at number 20 in the playoffs, and when they expanded the teams, it allowed 24 teams to get in, and we talked about it earlier, Albert, that 7 teams from the OEC made the playoffs, and 7 teams are playing well in the playoffs. We'll get to the matchups and teams that advance as we get on throughout this broadcast. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the first inning, game number 3. As we mentioned, LA Valley and Fullerton College already advanced in their super regional bracket. Cerritos and Riverside City College advanced in theirs. We'll get to more and then back over Wessel. And Long Beach City and Southwestern. Long Beach City already has a 1-0 lead on them. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard at the half inning. Zach Late playing first base. Another strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You like the way Damon Anderson Wolf meeting his spots, hitting those quadrants, and OCC don't like it. Home plate umpires in earlier game and this game already, not the favorites of the fans. 2-2, fouled back defensively. Saddleback. Damon Anderson Wolf, as we know, on the bump. Matthew Deutsch gets the start at catcher for Rodrigo Barajas, who caught all 10 innings in the first game. Jacob Hudson at first base. Ben Castelli at second. J.C. Allen, third base. Andrew Nicoluk at shortstop. 2-2 pitch on the way. There goes Wessel, low and outside. Wessel swipes second base easily. And he's standing there with another stolen base. His 18 stolen bases, well, that led the team. During the regular season. Had a stolen base yesterday, did not get caught. That's 19 stolen base here. That's 20. He's 20 of 20 on steals this season. This one's fouled down the left field line. It's going out of play. Stays in, but no catch by the left fielder, Jacob Bouchain. Center field is Makani Tanaka. And right field for the Bobcats is Bryson Hoyer. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Good at bat for Zach Late. Wessel, threat to score on anything hit into the outfield, even shallow into the outfield. He's a threat to score. Anderson Wolf delivers down first base, gobbled up by Hoyer. 3 unassisted if you're scoring at home. Outstanding play by Bryson Hoyer. Jacob Hudson, makes the play at first base. So Jacob Hudson makes the outstanding play at first base, and now JT Crabb steps up to the plate. Grounded out, struck out, singled, grounded out, and singled in his at-bats earlier today. And Albert, we look at the start of this ball game after a intense first inning for both squads. Swung on and missed. Healthy cut taken by Crabb. Then the middle of the game, diamond loosely for Orange Coast, really settled down, stymied Saddleback for the next 3 innings. And there's an equipment malfunction. And that's on the catcher, Matthew Deutsch. And then he settled down. Saddleback has played good throughout. But then really about the 7th, 8th inning, both teams really came alive. And as we mentioned, they didn't want to go home. So Saddleback won the game once. OCC came back. OCC won the game once. Saddleback comes back. Both teams, they're fighting for it. And at the end, it was a wild pitch that Wessel came home and scored to move into Game 3.
And, for any host team, even though they were playing as the away team in that particular game, you never want to lose in that particular fashion. So if you're Saddleback, you really want to come out swinging and really get aggressive when it comes to your half to bat.
And speaking of their half to bat, they come out swinging and aggressive, and JT Crabb singles home Owen Wessel for the first run of this game. And it's interesting that the players that made the big plays in the first game and the players that are making already in this game are the all-conference performers. So JT Crabb won all-conference in the OEC, singles in another all-conference performer in Owen Wessel. So 1 run on 2 hits thus far. And you look at the Orange Empire Conference and how they finished. Golden West was 1, Santa Ana 2, tied with Saddleback at 12-9. And since Saddleback had the better head-to-head matchup, they get the 5 seed. Santa Ana got the 6 seed. Late swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the first. On deck is Sebastian Moore, the number 5 hitter. Kobe Williams at 6, Tanner Jarosa batting 7th, Connor DeBenin batting 8th, and Dylan Kraus in the 9 spot. Outside corner meets it. One and 2 is your count. Two just a little bit away. On outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hudson holding Crabb at first base. JT playing left field in this game as he caught all 10 in the first game, or first game today, second game of the series. Series tied up at 1. Ground ball came back in the field of play. And Sebastian Moore grounds out to first base, so 3 unassisted. And so 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left on. Saddleback Coming up in their bottom half of the first inning to start this matchup, this is the Regionals. Saddleback Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey and Albert pulling double duty here at SportsNetUSA.net. Castelli, Tanaka, and Allen, the first three for the Bobcats, followed by Bouchain in the cleanup spot. Barajas, the designated hitter in this one. Jacob Hudson batting 6, Matthew Deutsch 7, Bryson Hoyer 8, and Andrew Nikoluk is batting number 9. And on the mound for Orange Coast College, Sawyer Spivey gets the start. Big, lanky 6'5", 200-pound right-hander. He's out of Irvine High School. Spivey in his 17th appearance, 6th game as a starter. 1 win on the season, 5 losses, and 1 save in 44 innings pitched. Struck out 36, he walked 25. His earned run average was 8.06. So we'll see how patient the Bobcats are against Sawyer Spivey. Ben Castelli, he started the ball game off first pitch, first swing, and he flew out to right field. Let's see how he starts this one out. His other attempts at the bat in that first game today, well, he was swinging for the fences, it looked like, on a few of them. And we'll see what he does now. Again, 9-8 was the score, and a walk-off wild pitch won the game for the Orange Coast Pirates. And many questioned on if they belong or should be in the playoffs with the 2016 and 24 record headed in. But again, as we got consistently told, you play in the OEC and you schedule a strong slate of games, you get in. So Castelli, Gold Glove second baseman, fouls one away, 1-1. In the dirt. Make it 2-1 now. So the rest of the OEC finished as Fullerton was 11-10 in conference, Riverside 10-11, Orange Coast was 10-11 in conference. Hits the plate, 3 balls and 1 strike. Cypress at 9-12. They all made the playoffs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams made the playoffs. Still alive is Fullerton, RCC, and there's a base hit by Castelli to start it off right for the Bobcats. So out of the 7, Fullerton, RCC, Santa Ana, Golden West, still in it. It's unfortunate that 2 OEC teams are playing now, because you got to think if they were playing other opposite teams, they got a chance to get all 7 into the Super Regionals. But something's got to give here. As Tanaka takes the first pitch in the dirt. 1-0, the best hitter in the OEC. And they're going to say, well, he doesn't have the best average in the OEC. Doesn't matter. He's the best hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. And you can feel free to argue that anytime. Go ahead and go to sportsnetusa.net and tell us you're wrong and tell me why. Castelli on the season. Running wise, 4 stolen bases. Line down the first base. First strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Crowd still here. A lot of leftovers for the first game. Many of them stayed that 40-minute in between time. Spivey delivers, and that is lined into right field. 2 batters, 2 base hits. So runners at first and second for J.C. Allen. Walked twice, scored a run earlier today. And you say, Corey, how good is J.C. Allen? Well, he was only all conference with a .323 average. Led the team in home runs with 12, 56 RBIs. Slugging percentage, .609. Fouled straight back. And you see those 12 home runs, Albert. He's got some power. Hit 3 against College of the Canyons earlier this season. This one's back as well. Good cut by Allen. And so you're asking who's in the field for Orange Coast? Well, you got J.T. Crabb in left, Owen Wessel in center field, Kobe Williams in right. Zach Lade at first, Connor DeBennon at second, Taylor Takata at short, and Dylan Krause at third. And there's one in the left center gap, but there is J.T. Crabb in position where he was coached. Coach said, stand there. He said, okay, 1 out. So Jacob Boucher now, the cleanup hitter. Got hit by a pitch and scored once earlier today. 1 of the 8 runs. Tanaka at first. Costelli at second. Low. Did he check? Yes, he did. 2 balls, no strikes. OCC in the first game used 3 pitchers. Diamond loosely. He started Parker King, and then Jackson Gillis came in to finish it out. That's a low and outside, 2-0. And you wonder who the rest is. The battery mate for Sawyer Spivey, that's going to be Tanner DeRosa. That's inside, and they was going to call that a strike no matter what, because that looked a little inside. But nonetheless, 3 balls and 1 strike. Just a bit high to load the bases.
So Bobcats have something a little cooking here with 1 out.
Rodrigo Barajas, another all-conference performer, steps in. So 1 out, bases loaded. We know what Mark Pavlovich would do in a situation like this, whether in baseball, softball.
But do you do that with a Rob Barajas?
No. So what are you going to do? You're going to play against Mark Pavlovich, and what are you going to do with Rod, and what type of defense are you playing?
Well, with Rod, I mean, you could, like, unless you want to play sneaky, then yes, you could probably drop a bunt. But he's also, one of your stronger hitters in the heart of your lineup. Do you really want to take the bat out of his hands, especially with 1 out, where you can, do some damage with the bases loaded? I wouldn't necessarily do that to him. With him being a left-handed hitter, I would probably shade center and right a little bit to the right, just a tad, just in case he pulls it. I haven't seen him really hit a whole lot of opposite field hits. That's what I would do. I would shade him a little bit to the right, a little bit of a pull hitter, maybe bring the corners in a bit and go from there.
287 coming into the series is his batting average. And he lifts one in the left center field. Is it going to be deep enough to score Castelli? It is. Castelli's tags from third to play at third, and Tanaka, lucky he's fast, because that throw beat him to third base, and that throw and that tag would have beat the score here from Castelli from third. So they appeal. Did he leave early at second? No. So the run counts. Castelli evens it up at 1 on the sacrifice fly from Barajas. That's going to bring up Jacob Hudson, playing first base. Solid first base person. Had 2 solo putouts in the top half of this first inning. 1-1 your score, 2 hits apiece.
Hudson loses the appeal down at first. I don't know about that one.
Spivey gets a count, even it up, 1-1. 2 outs here to the right-hander. Line drive, and Taylor Takata ends that inning. But again, 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 2 left on. At the end of 1 complete, Game 3 of the regionals here at Saddleback is tied on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, we'll wait for technology to update while that happens.
Well, there's really not a whole lot of other games going on right now.
That's true, but I had
because you know, other games were wrapped up this morning.
Yes, they were.
/ early afternoon. But to bring a little bit of information here, Glendale and Cuesta are tied 4-4 in the top of the 5th. At the start of this game, it was actually suspended for momentarily in the 4th. They did have a video feed. I clicked on it. It was a bit of a rain delay that was actually going on down at Cuesta College.
And that's the 3rd game of that series.
Yeah, so. This is Game 3 that's going on right now for that particular series. Clicked on the feed. It was super gloomy, lots of fog in their particular image. I'm like, oh, well, that explains why they're in a bit of a delay there. Mount Sac, they're leading Allen Hancock 12-2 in the bottom of the 9th. That's Game 2, so that game is almost wrapped up there. And that pretty much wraps up all the games that are going on right now.
Well,
at least on baseball. Softball's a different story.
So we're going to pencil in Mount Sac into the Palomar region. So Palomar is going to host Mount Sac and either the winner of Cuesta and Glendale. So Anderson Wolf starts his 2nd inning of work. Fouled back is Kobe Williams. When you look at Williams in that first game, flew out to right, singled and scored a run. Foul tipped back, 0-2. Struck out, flew out, grounded out. So now the right fielder steps up to bat. Strong looking right fielder out there. When he played, patrolled it nicely, smoothly. This one into right field. She even chases Bryson Hoyer. Does he make the catch? He makes the catch. And a lot of room in right field. And he takes out his fellow right fielder, Kobe Williams, for the first out. You look at the replay here, a lot of room to roam. And he had a long way to run. And that's one of those where playoff baseball, you got to make sure you get it. No one gets an extra out. No one gets an extra at-bat or an extra pitch. Because you saw what happened to Saddleback in the last game. You give him that extra pitch. The next one is a wild one. And you're playing, well, with the lights on.
So a little bit of sunlight left going into today's final game.
One hopper. Castelli. Gold glove worthy play. Connor DeBenin. And he played well. He had that big at-bat in extra innings. To really continue that ball game, 1-1 your score here, top of the second inning. As we have a listener, yes, that really was a long first inning. This one's popped foul. Given chase, this one's definitely out of play. And Albert, we did get a mention. Somebody did reply about the best hitters in the OEC. They gave the examples of two hitters who had better averages, yes. But they weren't better hitters. One ball.
Is that Mr. Pavlovich trying to shut you down?
Yeah, it is. This is lined in the left field for a base hit. Connor DeBenin continuing his strong play from the first game. The sophomore says, I know what it takes to get to that next level. They're trying to get it advanced as Dylan Krause, the third base person, steps up to the plate, the number 9 hitter.
He's probably seen too much of Evan Robecki playing at Cypress.
Exactly. That's one of the names he mentioned.
But, I mean, Robecki can hit.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
he's a hitter.
He's definitely a hitter. In the dirt, DeBenin stays. Yeah, we gave him his props earlier. Also threw him under the bus a couple times. Even mentioned the pride of Torrey Pines High School. Connor DeBenin at first. Average lead. Anderson Wolf looks. Faces the plate, delivers. Off the foot of Krause. Hops once, gets ready to go. Orange Coast in the pinstripe white and blue with the pants. Long pants with the no stirrups, excuse me. Blue jerseys, orange lettering. Anderson Wolf looks at Debenham. Ground ball to third. J.C. Allen gets it over to second base and Castelli, and that'll end it. Scoring 5-4 for the third out. So no runs on one hit. No errors and one left on. Actually, no errors and nobody left on. That's the end of 1.5. Still tied at 1 on SportsNetUSA.net. Due up. It's going to be Deutsch, Hoyer, and Nicoluk.
Another bit of an update for you all here. So Orange Coast softball takes 2 out of 3 from Bakersfield, so they will be moving on to the Super Regionals.
I think a lot of people had Bakersfield winning that one. Orange Coast wasn't getting that respect that they thought they deserved, so they went out and said, you know what, that's all right. We're going to just do it our way and move on. That's the first time they moved on in a few years in softball. As you know, Cerritos moved on, LA Valley moved on, Golden West, Santa Ana, Fullerton, and Long Beach beat Southwestern, so Long Beach moves on as well. That's the one we were waiting for, so for that one, it's number 8 Long Beach, number 13 RCC, and number 1 Cerritos. That's going to be an outstanding double elimination next weekend. Deutsch 2 hits last game. Scored a run. Lines in the left field. Yeah, that's a single. Do we see 2? A 1 and a 2. And the second inning started off right for the Bobcats. So Bryson Hoyer, now the right fielder, steps up to the plate with nobody out. Third hit of the game. 3 hits for both squads. You gonna move that runner over, or are you gonna hit away? We'll see what the strategy is. Ryan Gomes, the third base coach for Saddleback. Head coach is Summer McCartney. Been coaching for a long, long time. Squares the bunt, brings it away. Outside part of the plate for strike 1. Sawyer Spivey goes 6-5. Pulls back, throw down to second base. Trying to get Deutsch in a better scoring position here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not the fleetest of foot. So you want to make anything hit into the outfield scoreable. And without question. Low one more time from Spivey, 2-1. Umpires today, Jose Martin was a home plate umpire in the first game. Evan Hughes or Toby Wilson will be the umpire in the second game. Can't see who, but those are the 3 umpires for today. That's low again, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Hoyer doing a really good job of making Spivey work for it. Pretty much showing bunt almost every pitch so far he's seen this at bat, making Spivey forced to find the zone.
And again. So that's the first one given up by Sawyer Spivey. Runners on first and second. So there's no outs. So Nicoluk coming up with runner in scoring position.
And that last pitch to Hoyer, pretty much nowhere near the zone, basically in the dirt.
Had a hit last game. He's showing bunt. He pops it straight back. And this is where you have to say with 1 out, or excuse me, with no outs, make sure if you're going to sacrifice,
You get it down.
give yourself up no matter what. Orange Coast, again, they tried to sacrifice last game, but Rodrigo Barajas, an outstanding play to get the lead runner at second to quell any threat. And that stopped momentum late in the ball game. That was the 8th inning where they quelled that. That's high, 2 balls and, or excuse me, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pulls back, 2-1. So the remaining games to move forward to next week's Super Regionals between Cuesta and Glendale, and this game right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Brings it down, lays it down over to first. Kraus gets it to late, and that successfully moves the runners. Deutsch to third, Hoyer to second. With 1 out, top of the order now is Ben Castelli.
Bunt had a little too much life on it for me. Probably could have gotten on base with a little more deadening of the actual butt. It had that nice little dead butt sound, but little too much deflection for me.
Did what he needed to do. Advance the runners with one out, put them both in scoring position. Doesn't matter if it's not pretty. As long as it gets it done, you're good. Castelli singled and scored the first run, the only run for Saddleback thus far as we sit at the bottom of the second. Infield in. On the grass outside. So as we saw last game, every run counts. Orange Coast doesn't want to give up any unnecessary runs. Spivey finally connects for a strike, 1-2. In the bullpen for Orange Coast. Might be Jackson Gillis again warming up. We saw a couple innings out of him in the first game. Late on the swing is Ben. Second team all conference with a .325 average. Part of 18 turn double plays this season. Won a gold glove at second base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Fouled off the toe. Black jerseys, 25 maroon and black, 25 in white on the front goes the numbers. .337 down left, .328 down right. Castelli, 3 balls to the right side of the field today. This time he pokes it to the left side to bring in one. That's Deutsch from third. And they hold the runners. Bases are loaded. Hoyer stops at third. Deutsch with that run scored. So Castelli singles in a run. And he had runners on the corners with Castelli at first. At third is Bryson Hoyer. And we do get, that is Jackson Gillis early for the Orange Coast Pirates. So Gillis, he pitched an inning and a half. In that win, and he picked up the win in the first matchup. 2-1 the score in favor of Saddleback. Nate Johnson gives instructions to his team and says we're ready to go. Let's get Jackson warmed up.
And for OCC, it might seem like a super quick pitching change, but quite frankly, with this Game 3 being the determining game of the series, you really want to try and stop whatever bleeding you can here and now.
Because as Summer McCartney told us earlier before Game 1, there were opportunities in that first game that they really didn't capitalize on. They won the game 2-0, but it could have been something where they just didn't finish the execution at the plate. This is a situation where you mentioned it's not a quick hook. It's something that the third game you don't want to let it get away, because Saddleback right now looking like they're getting some type of rhythm on the offensive side. So Gillis, the big right-hander, and most of these kids are local. Newport Harbor High School for Jackson, 6'3", 220 pounds. before this series. He came in 16 appearances. Now today, 17 and 18. Won 2, lost 1 during the regular season. Picked up the victory here in the first game. So 3 wins on the season for the big man. And that's going to bring in Makani Tanaka. And since no one's here to dispute it on air, the best hitter in the OEC. Let's see what he does with runners on first and third. Takes the first
I think your
pitch
phone's
high.
vibrating a little bit there.
Somebody's ears may be itching.
It's not my phone that's going off.
And Tanaka, a 35-game hit streak, goes down for the first pitch. Great pitch by Jackson Gillis. Tanaka's got sneaky strength. 3 home runs this season. Setting up the 1-1 pitch. Delivery is high one more time. Apprehension in the air here in Mission Viejo. Fans don't want to get too excited. Trying not to show too many nerves. Pickoff attempt safely back is Castelli. In that first game, it was 8 runs, 9 hits for Saddleback, 9 runs, 8 hits for OCC. Throw down to third base, and Hoyer sliding back. Stolen base for Castelli at second. So it'll be interesting. Do you put one of the best hitters in the OEC on base with runners at second and third and 1 out? Or do you pitch to him? First game had 2 hits, scored twice. Also had an RBI. And that was an RBI triple. Line drive to short. Hot hands, Taylor Takata. You see the replay here. Hot off the bat, Taylor Takata in the right place to record the second out, and J.C. Allen steps up to bat. That could be huge for Orange Coast. And the second intentional walk given to J.C. Allen today. So they load the bases with Allen at first, Castelli at second, Hoyer at third, 2 outs. 1 run already across this inning. Saddleback looking for Bouchain to say, let's get some more runs, at least 2. Swinging at a high heat. And swung through it 0-1. One deliveries outside. One ball, 1 strike, in the dirt, pitching away, 2-1. And I stand corrected, Diamond loosely got credited for the win in the first game.
How does that work?
I don't know, but I think it was Jackson Gillis. He was the last pitcher because Saddleback did take the lead late innings by 1 run. Orange Coast came back tied up and win it. So 2-1 to score, 3-1 to count. And that's a walk. So you intentionally walk J.C. Allen. Jackson Gillis can't find his rhythm. And they walk Bouchain to bring in the run. And scoring from third is Bryson Hoyer. And Rodrigo Baraja steps to the plate now. The left-hander sacrificed 5 RBI in the first inning. Second inning first cut is fouled back. And there's one bounce to Takata, steps on second, and that'll end the inning. But not before 2 runs come across on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left on. So at the end of 2 complete, it is Saddleback 3, OCC 1. This is Saddleback Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net.
And of course, baseball isn't the only thing in the playoffs right now across the OEC. We have softball going on as well. So we got some softball scores coming at you. Mount Sac defeated San Diego Mesa 13-0 earlier today. Ohlone defeated Sequoias, final score 7-6. Palomar being dominant, they defeated Compton 12-2. And, Compton, this was their first softball season in quite some time, so unfortunate to see them lose, but they had a really fantastic season. I think they put up at least, 20 wins this year, Corey?
Yeah.
It's like fantastic comeback season for that particular program. Cerritos defeated LA Mission 8-1. I think we all expected that to actually happen, knowing Cody as we do. Of course, Orange Coast, they defeated Bakersfield 6-0. Orange Coast, of course, they advance. El Camino downs Moore Park 10-1. Cypress, of course, they defeated Canyons 2 out of 3 games. Cypress won that game 9-0. Fullerton defeats Antelope Valley, final score 3-0. Long Beach over Citrus 5-0.
So we start with the top of the order, top of the 3rd inning with Owen Wessel. Wessel singled, scored a run, the only run for Orange Coast thus far, the way he started off the first game, although he got hit instead of getting the hit in the first game, in the first inning. Wessel scored 3 times today. Ground ball to third, out of play, 0-2. Damon Anderson Wolf on the mound. Deutsch catching, fouled straight back. And so that's out of play. 337 down the left field line and 328 down the right field line for Owen Wessel. He's got 2 stolen bases today. They're playing it to the right side. Let's see if he's going to try to pull it. Big opening down the left field line. Outside pitch. It meets the corner. He don't like it. As he walks back to the bench, caught looking for the second strikeout for Anderson Wolf.
Yeah, a little tough call there altogether, but I think it just catches the outside corner for strike 3.
And when you mean by just catches, the catcher framed it, pulled it back in for strike 3 call. Taylor Takata, 2 nice defensive plays in that last inning to end the inning. And strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Takata's first at-bat, he struck out. First game, had a hit, walked twice. Outside, 1-1. So Takata is another all-conference performer on the infield, second team this year. At 14 RBIs to go along with 40 hits. Batted over 300 This one's popped sky high. Shallow center. And there is Tanaka. The second out is the top of the inning. Zach Late now. Wearing number 25 with the orange numbers. Grounded to first is hits in his first at-bat. Hit by a pitch. Scored twice in the first game. Today, second game of the series. Rounded right back up the middle. Waited on that hanging curve. And struck back. Third hit. Make it the fourth hit today for Orange Coast. JT Crabb now steps up to the plate. Right-handed left fielder. Also plays catcher. Multiple positions this season, Albert, for JT Crabb. It's one of the reasons why he made the all-conference team. Late at first, Anderson Wolf. Slide step, delivers low. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Late got that oven mitt on his right side, right hand, excuse me. There's a ground ball to the left and out of play. Not really a threat to steal, especially with that slide action from Anderson Wolf. Hudson holding on at first. Late, no stolen bases this season. Doesn't go there. Line drive into left field, another base hit. So 2 on with 2 out. Something starting for OCC. So Sebastian Moore, left-hander in the number 5 spot. DH played center field to start the second game of the series. Went 1 for 3 on Friday. Reached base safely twice in earlier's game today. And again, he did not get a hit to reach base. He got hit twice to reach base. 4 hit batsman on the day for Saddleback pitching. Sebastian Moore looking with the 1-0 count, runner in scoring position, tries to pull it to the right side. That goes foul, 1-1. Anderson Wolf. J.C. Allen off the line at third. Inside pitch one more time. Gets away from Deutsch and then runners advance. So again, whether it's the wild pitches or the pass balls, they are the nemesis today of Saddleback.
And that one didn't even really skip away. Like, it was there right at home plate the entire time.
So Late advances to third, Crabb to second. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs for Sebastian Moore. 3-1 is the score. Bobcats with the lead. 5 hits already for the Pirates. Fouled back. And again, the team that you don't expect to be here with under 500 record overall is here and playing tough. Is the score in favor of the Bobcats. Top of the third inning. And that's in the dirt one more time. So again, Orange Coast won that first game, came back in exciting fashion. Saddleback the favorite. Loses the ball game. They got to come back for a double hitter, but they didn't get down in the doldrums and not come out. And they did not come out flat. Put up 3 in the first 2 innings. But now Anderson Wolf working with a full count to Sebastian Moore. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Comes back big time with the swinging strike. And that's strikeout number 3 for Anderson Wolf, and that ends 2.5. No runs with 2 hits. No errors, 2 left on. And it's 3-1 Saddleback on Sportsnet USA.net. Due up for the Bobcats, Hudson, Deutsch, and Hoyer.
When it comes to softball, Corey, for next week going into the Super Regionals, it'll be Fullerton versus Cerritos, OCC versus Cypress, Palomar versus LBCC, Mount Sac versus El Camino. That is one heck of a Super Regional.
And, you know, we just got a text on that.
Yeah. So 4 of the 5 regional teams of the South Coast Conference move on. We got 3 out of the OEC, and then Palomar. Mm-hmm. All those teams, top 8 in RPI moving on in the South Coast, or in Southern California moving on. Top 8 in RPI.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Maybe RPI kind of means something
No,
if you're top.
No.
I'm not lobbying for. I'm just trying to strip a little antithesis here. Maybe it means something if the top teams of it actually are good.
We always know who the top teams are. They haven't changed for as long as I've been alive. They haven't changed. No, as long as you've been alive, they have not changed. The top teams have been Cypress and Mount Sac, Palomar, Cerritos. Those are going to be the top 10 top teams always. Okay, so they're always getting in. Nothing ever changes on that. It's the rest of them. You know, how many teams left? 8 teams are left?
Something like that.
Yeah, 8 teams are left, so you know. There's a ground ball to third base. Dylan Krause up with it over to first, and late gets Hudson for the first out. You know, you might as well just pencil in the first 5 or 6 teams, and then the other 2 got to fight it out.
Yeah, it's like Fullerton, okay, yeah, they're making it. Cerritos, okay, yeah, they're making it. Cypress, okay, yeah, they're making it. Palomar, okay, yeah, they're making it.
Yeah. So since we've been involved, we don't know if Cypress and Palomar have been in it. Always, Cerritos has been in it. There's a pop fly, Deutsch in the right field. Underneath is Kobe Williams to make the one-handed grab for the second out. Hoyer now steps up to the plate for Saddleback. In baseball, you really look at like we said earlier, it's the Orange Empire Conference Invitational. Because 22 times now the members are in the OEC now as it's constructed have won state championships in baseball. OCC's won 7 here. Saddleback has won 1. Squares the bunt, brings it back. 0-1. So that's since 1950, and 22 of those teams now reside, championships now reside for OEC teams. Low, extremely low. And 5 are going to get in for baseball. So it's one of those things where Southern California top heavy in baseball and softball talent. Inside corner, wasn't inside corner, just set up, came right down the middle of the plate. Nice pitch by Jackson Gillis. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Saddleback up by 2 with 2 outs. Gillis wants to try to work this inning quickly. Efficient is the Bobcats. There's a ground ball. The Bennett scoops, sets, and throws. 3 up. and 3 down. And that will end the 3rd inning with Saddleback up 3-1 over OCC in the regionals. This is Saddleback Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net. And a lot of those South Coast Conference teams have won championships in baseball as well. Up and down the list, you see multiple championships from Cerritos, Long Beach, LA Valley has won a few. LA Harbor's got a couple. Long Beach City, as we mentioned. College of the Canyons has a couple. The team you see is Rancho Santiago College. Well, that is Santa Ana. And Mount Sac has championships. So over half of the championships for the 3C2A in baseball have come from Southern California. San Joaquin Delta is the last team that won the state championship from NorCal. That was 2018. 2016, Santa Rosa won it. Then you have to go to all the way back to 2012 when Cosumnes River has got a title. And there were 3 years in a row, 2010, 11, and 12, when Ohlone, San Joaquin Delta, and Cosumnes River won state titles. And just by looking, that might be the first time that's happened where the NorCal won 3 straight. Don't quote me on that. I really have to look and see that. Next time I'll put on my glasses. But for right now, tell me if I'm wrong. Top of the 4th inning. High fly ball. Giving chase is Jacob Hudson. And just out of his reach. So staying alive for another pitch. It's Kobe Williams, the right fielder, who popped out to right field in his first time at bat. Williams will be followed by Jarosa and DeBenin. 4th inning and a 3-1 lead. Again, fouled off to the right side. Hudson giving chase one more time. And he doesn't make the catch. Good sliding attempt by Jacob. Williams stands 6'4". One of those NorCal guys coming down to Southern California out of Antioch. Off-speed pitch. Ground ball to the left side this time. So Damon Anderson Wolf. Not overpowering on the mound out of Aliso Niguel. Good baseball program there, 5'10", 180. Delivers high lead kick, struck him out. Sometimes I swear that players can hear sometimes when we talk about him. He said he wasn't overpowering. And he just throws a strike right down the heart of the plate, dares him to make contact. He does not. And that'll bring up the second batter this inning will be Tanner Jarosa. We'll set that defense in just a moment. One more time, overhand in there for a strike. Allen at 3rd. Nicoluk at short. Castelli at 2nd. Hudson at first base of the infield. Another overhand, and this time Jarosa waits on it. One time, all right. Second time, you're not getting past me. 6th hit of the game for OCC. So runners on base for OCC each of the first 4 innings. It's Connor Debenin. Excuse me, Debenin, right-hander. Pops this up out of play. Cars are safe. So he's saying there's no upsets in softball. Well, actually, foul play in the same spot. An upset is if a lower seed beats a higher seed team, right?
Yeah.
So Cerritos beating LA Mission is an upset in softball because they were the higher seed. Or LA Mission was a higher seed, Cerritos was the lower seed. So yeah, you can call that an upset. No balls, 2 strikes. Outside is the setup, outside is the pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike.
What was the seating between the two of them?
What's that?
What was the seating between the two of them?
8 and 9. Hey. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ground ball into the 5-hole, and that's another base hit by Debenin. He's 2 for 2. Runners at first and second. He's reached base safely in his last 3 at-bats. Including that a double in the last game. So game 3, winner reaches the Super Regionals. Damon Anderson Wolf in trouble, fouled straight back. Is Dylan Kraus, the number 9 hitter. Standing at second is the catcher Jarosa. At first is Debenin, the second base person. Dylan Kraus, 0 for 1. If you're an OCC fan, you're thinking Dylan's due. Fouled back to the right side. And one more time out of play. If you're Saddleback, you're just thinking, okay, he can go for an 0 for today. 1 out. Top of the 4th inning of the 2-run lead for the Bobcats. Strike 3 called. Let's see the replay here. Generous. Top of the order, Owen Wessel. With 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, Wessel struck out his last at bat. Singled in the 1st inning and scored the only Pirate run. A hanging curveball deep to left field, giving chase is Bouchane. And Bouchane ends the inning. F7. If you're scoring at home. Ending 3.5. 3.5 with the Bobcats up 3-1 on SportsNetUSA.net. Due up for the Bobcats this inning will be Nikoluk, and then the top of the order with Castelli and Tanaka. Nikoluk out of Simi Valley. And that's a credit to your coaching staff and your program. When you get players that in a baseball-rich environment in Simi Valley in that area, of Southern California that could stay in teams and really play at a high level. But you come down here to Saddleback and Mission Viejo to really get the experience, to know you're going to make the playoffs pretty much every year. You're going to have a chance to reach the Super Regionals. And like last year, you're going to have a chance to make a title run in state. And they get another recruit out of area from Simi Valley. Got a couple players from Honolulu and Hawaii as well. So the recruiting base is far and stretches far and wide for Orange Coast College. And as far as, South Korea. In Seoul. So, yeah, again, the credit to this coaching staff, this program that they've built is a wonder. And you look at the opposite side of OCC, where you're talking about one of the preeminent baseball programs, not just in Southern California but the entire nation. As they've got 7 state titles and a history of baseball excellence down there for the Pirates. So Jackson Gillis still on the mound, facing the shortstop, who's had a heck of a day, a hit, and outstanding defensive play in the first game today. Ground ball into the Saddleback dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 hits already for Orange Coast College, and that was one of the things that Nate Johnson was saying. We have to take advantage of our opportunities. 7 hits, 3.5 innings, 1 run to show for it. And there's an off-speed pitch. Got him? No. They say he checked up. Two and 1 to count. And Ump's taking it today. And there's your makeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No outs. First batter to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. And then if you're Saddleback side, Summer McCartney saying we've got to be more efficient and well as take care of our opportunities when we get them. Only 3 hits. There's a ground ball to DeBennon. Scoop and throw for the first out. 4-3 when you're recording at home, and I know you are. That's the first out of the inning. Top of the order is Castelli. But with those 3 hits, they've got 3 runs. So they're efficient in taking care and taking advantage of the opportunities that they are getting. Castelli takes ball 1. And another comment about the upset of Cerritos against LA Mission. Historically speaking, and we've seen Cerritos play a lot, yeah, that's not an upset, but for argument's sake, I'm going to say that's an upset simply because they were the lower seeded team. There's a shot in the right field, but well foul. 2-1.
Just making an old man angry at this point.
All I say is it brightens up in the evening. Off speed, waits, fouls it off to the left side this time, and that is also out of play. Giving chase was Krause into the bullpen of Saddleback. Saddleback, the 2004 California State champions. 373 in the left field gap, 382 in the right field gap. Castelli looking to hit all of them, 400 straightaway center. Got him looking. That's one where Castelli says, I'm swinging, I'm swinging, I'm swinging, I'm swinging, I'm walking. and no reason to dispute. Jackson Gillis picks up his first strikeout. And another off-speed pitch. So 2 in a row from Jackson Gillis. And gets an 0-1 count on Tanaka. Singled in the first inning, lined to short in the second. Went 0 for 3 in the first game, but had a sacrifice fly RBI. Earlier today in the second game of the series, had 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI as well. 3-1 your score. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. It hits it deep to center field. Giving chase is Wessel, and he makes an outstanding catch to rob Tanaka of extra bases. Tanaka was looking for his second triple of the day, but instead that's the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. So at the end of 4, it's Saddleback 3, Orange Coast 1. This is Saddleback Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net.
That had to be probably one of the best catches made all day.
Yeah, he's an outstanding athlete out there as well. So very speedy, very smart player out there in the field. And it's one of those guys that every team will need a player like that. You got a guy who's willing to go all out every single play, take hits on the head, and not let it bother him. So you got to appreciate players like Owen Wessel. Ed Ford, Mark Pavlovich type of players out there. Saddleback now on the defense. They bring out Anderson Wolf still on the bump. His battery mate is Matthew Deutsch. First base Hudson, Castelli at second, Nicoluk at short, Allen at third, Bouchain in left, Tanaka in center, and Hoyer remains in right field. No changes for the Saddleback Bobcats. So Taylor Takata will lead off the shortstop, who struck out and flew out in his first 2. Zach Late will be second up, grounded out and singled, and J.T. Crabb, 2 singles in this ball game thus far are the 3 due up for the Pirates. Inside and high. What a nice way to spend a Saturday. You get Hurley early, that's low, 2-0. Breeze and Bry, cruising like Smokey Robinson. And this is deep foul to the right side.
I mean, I know I got here early.
Yeah, you were here early, yes.
What time did you get here?
I got here. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. I got here by 11. 11:05.
Just chilling in the parking lot. Okay, looks like Albert and Ryan are done setting up. I think I can go in now.
I wouldn't even front. I would just stood down there and waited. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Taylor Tanaka. Excuse me, Takata. Something in his eye. He has to step out. So 1 run in the first for OCC. 1 in the first for Saddleback, 2 in the second. 7 hits already for the Pirates. Well, yet that 1 run. Bobcats looking to close out and move to the Super Regionals. They want to join LA Valley and Fullerton. This popped straight up in the infield. J.C. Allen calls everybody off, one-handed for the first out. bring up Zach Late. So the all OEC players for the Pirates this year were JT Crabb. He was the first teamer. Taylor Takata, Owen Wessel, and Zach Late. Those three were second team all conference performers. Squares the bunt and takes the strike at the knees. For Saddleback, who finished tied for second with Santa Ana, Jack Wade, the pitcher, had the best ERA in conference, 2.09. Shut out OCC yesterday for their first win of the series. Low one inside. Dylan Blakey. So both those pitchers and Blakey had the save yesterday in yesterday's game. Got banged up, only pitched one inning in today's game. The earlier one today, Rodrigo Barajas, J.C. Allen, who made that catch in the infield just a moment ago. Late, the lefty, misses outside, 2-1. Makani Takata and Ben Castelli all made the All-OEC team. Castelli was a second-team player, but he did win that Gold Glove. Playing a solid second base throughout the season. A little bit of shift for Late. Fouled straight back, tried to jam him. As you see, the shift is in the outfield. Standing is Castelli. Shallow right. Shortstop Nicoluk is standing almost directly behind second base, making that 5-6 hole a lot bigger than normal. Off the line is Allen at third. Foul tipped into the glove. That'll be strike three. So that's strikeout number 5 for Damon Anderson-Wolf. JT Crabb now with 2 singles. Third time at the plate tonight. 2 of the 7 hits thus far. You know, Albert, there was a player back in the day, long time ago, back in like the early 90s. Swung on and missed. Frankie Rodriguez went to Roland High School. He was about this size, 5'10", spent a couple years at Mount Sac, got drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Similar, just because of their stature. But Rodriguez was one of those players who had more heat on the fastball, more movement. This one's grounded down third base, foul, 1-2. But again, if Anderson-Wolf can get to that level, you're going to have a special ball player. Only a freshman. When you talk to both these coaches, you talk about that experience they had from last year. Does that help in situations like this and moving forward? This one's fouled back. And they said, yeah, it helps with those few returners. But like we always talk to those community college coaches, Albert, they always say the turnaround and a turnover is always significant. And you really have to have those 1 or 2 players that are back really be the team leaders. JT Crabb pops it up, and that's going to be out of play. And Crabb is one of those sophomore leaders for the Pirates. Warming up in the, well, there's action in the bullpen for Orange Coast. Chan-Hee Lee out of Seoul, Korea. No action in the Bobcat bullpen. Strike 3. Caught him right up into the armpits. Watch this pitch. Anderson-Wolf up in armpit, can't do nothing with it. The end of 5 and 4.5. It's still 3-1 in favor of the Bobcats on SportsNetUSA.net. Chan Hee Lee. Chan Hee wears number 32 in that blue uniform, 6'4", 195 from Seoul. On the season, this will be his 11th appearance. No wins, 1 loss on the season, 13.1 innings pitched, 8 walks, 5 strikeouts for the big righty freshman. So 6'4", 195 pounds. So Chan Hee with the long stride. We'll see his movement when he goes. There's no other changes in the field for the Pirates. Everything stays the same. So J.C. Allen steps to the plate. Intentionally walked his last time at bat with runners at second and third. They said, you know what, just go to first. And then they promptly walked in the next batter. So J.C. Allen, one of the league leaders in home runs. Late. So deceptively fast was Lee. Bounce back, fields his position for the first out. It's always nice when you can see a pitcher field his position.
Didn't panic on that comeback or two. It was like sharply right at him, took a quick step back, glove up, took his time with a throw to first.
And a couple of the listeners are thinking like Albert Robles right now. Need food. Swung through and missed. Again, that fastball approaches them so quickly. It doesn't look like he's throwing that hard. Good movement. Oh and 2. So Lee, his first action in this series. Outside one more time and away, 1 and 2. Outside one more time. Good eye and good at bat for Bouchane. So again, winner of this third game moves on to next weekend. They all travel to LA Valley. Outside one more time. Strike 3. Slide, slide, and slide on out of here as that's thrown. Oh yeah, slide and split and get on out of here. 2 outs.
And Lee had pretty much been working the away half of the plate, just attacking and attacking and attacking. Eventually got him to chase, gets that strikeout.
Barajas lays into one deep right field. Is that gone? That is. Rodrigo Barajas turns on the first pitch from Lee. And he offered that one up. And he said the squirrels and the chipmunks and the gophers need company. So officially 391 away. It's not bad. 390 feet. First pitch swinging. So the second home run today off of a Bobcat bat. Bring up Jacob Hudson. Jacob Hudson lies into Takata for the third out. I was just about to mention Jacob Hudson hit the other home run that we saw here today. So at the end of 5, it is now Saddleback 4 and OCC 1. This is Saddleback Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey and Albert, the remaining members of the crew here today. Mark Pavlovich tucked in bed with a nice blanket and a Snuggie. Watching this one in basketball all evening. Ed Ford braving the wild, and we mean the wild of the 15 freeway.
I'm sure he's home by now.
Like we said, braving the wild of the 15 freeway. Once you get off on Bear Valley, you still got another hour just to get to the next destination. As Anderson Wolf still in there. Damon, a nice job through the first 5 innings. Giving up 7 hits, but only 1 run. So at the end of this game, if it still stays at 1 run, here's your baseball lesson, boys and girls. If they get a few more hits and only 1 run, that's what you say is scattered. Scattering. They scattered 7, 8, 9 hits with only 1 run. So infield the same for the Bobcats, outfield the same for the Bobcats. Nothing's changed for the Bobcats. In the first 5 innings, we move to the top of the 6th. So for OCC, they bring up Moore, Williams, and Jerosa. Moore grounded out, struck out in his first 2 attempts. Game number 3, winner moves on, loser goes home. They say high on the first pitch, 1-0. So 4 runs on 4 hits. Okay, so 4 runs on 5 hits. So action in the bullpen for Saddleback. It looks like that's going to be Rodriguez warming up. Isaac Rodriguez, a right-hander. We'll see if we see some action from him. 3-0 to Sebastian Moore. Takes the obligatory strike 1 on the 3-0 count. Top of the 6th inning. And in the dirt, walks him. Bring up Devin Rogers. So Devin Rogers pinch hitting. And he had a big base hit driving in a run in that first game today. Let's see if he has a magic steal. So That was an RBI single in the 9th inning when they kind of needed it, Albert. So with that single in the 9th inning, they tied up the ball game. 10th inning, they won it. Take strike one.
And of course, that late single drastically changed the tide of the game.
The momentum shift. Went to the 10th inning, all momentum was OCC way. Anderson Wolf checks the runner at first, which is Moore. Hudson holding. There goes Moore. Good jump, throw down, and he is safe.
The throw beat the runner, but the fielder just couldn't quite catch the ball all that evenly. So runner is in safe easily.
That's the 13th stolen base for Moore this season. Fouled straight back. So Rogers in the top of the 6th looking to get something, anything, one thing going for the Pirates, and it's just an opposite of the first game where Diamond loosely, that first inning gave up those 4 runs, but then basically shut down Saddleback for the next 4 to 5 innings. And Damon Anderson Wolf throws that one in the dirt, 2-2. He gave up that first run in the first inning and really shutting OCC down for the next 4 or 5 innings. So we're in the top of the 6th here.
Yeah, Saddleback may have the 4 runs on the board, but they only have 3 hits to go along with it. Meanwhile, OCC, with the 1 run, they've got 7 hits to account for.
This one's fisted to right field. Underneath is going to be Hoyer. Makes the one-handed grab, relays it back into the infield. So Rogers flies out to right field, and this will bring up Tanner Gerosa. Grounded to second and singled in his 2 at-bats thus far. First pitch delivery high once again. Saddleback won their championship in 2004. Last time for OCC was 2019. Checks Moore at second. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. Tanner DeRosa, the catcher, looking to get something going with Moore at second base in scoring position. There's your strike down the mark. On the mark, excuse me. 2 balls, 1 strike. See if they play loose with Moore at second base, a little run and hit maybe. Hit and run. Down by 3 runs, you need something that's low. But if Anderson Wolf can't find his rhythm and his range, well actually, you don't want to do anything, you'll put him on base with 1 out. And Connor DeBenin on deck. You want to make sure he gets on base any way he can because DeBenin has been on base 3 straight hits. As a team, they bat .281 coming into the series. .425 slugging, and .382 on base percentage as a team. And there's ball 4. So Jarosa moves to second base or first base on the walk. Rodriguez still warming up in the pen. And we get that timeout. We get that call. We don't get the right-hander. So Damon Anderson Wolf did a nice job, 5 1/3 innings. As Isaac Rodriguez out of Bakersfield High School, 6'1", 190. He's coming in to take over. Damon Anderson Wolf, 5 strikeouts in his innings worked. Gave up those 7 hits and that 1 run. But again, they were scattered through the first 5. Or scattered through the first 5 1/3, and now they're looking to close it out here with 1 out and 2 on. And with this pitching change, Rodriguez, his 15th appearance on the season, 4.5 earned run average with 11 Ks and 9 walks, 18 innings pitched thus far. 2-1 was his overall record in the regular season. And while you have this time here, it looks at the rankings and how these two teams came into this matchup. Saddleback final poll rank in the 3C2A. They were the 6th ranked team. Saddleback unranked in the top 20 in the SoCal area. Unranked in the coaches poll as well. For the CCCBCA poll, they were not ranked, but again, their RPI, playing in the toughest conference in the nation, allowed them to make the playoffs, and they're stretching this 3-game series into 3 in this decisive game here. Golden West was ranked number 1 in SoCal at 28-12. Cerritos ranked 2nd at 32-8 in the final poll, but Cerritos gets the number 1 seed overall. Golden West gets the number 3 seed, while Palomar gets the number 2 seed. And the rankings win as Golden West 1, Cerritos 2. Santa Ana finishes the season as a ranked number 3 team in SoCal, but they get a 6 seed by finishing tied with Saddleback in the OEC. Palomar 4, LA Valley 5, Saddleback here 6, Mount Sac 7, Cuesta, Long Beach, and Fullerton round out the top 10 in the OEC, or in the SoCal region. NorCal, Feather River is pretty much number 1 all season long at 32-7. Santa Rosa, Fresno City, West Valley, and Butte were the top 5 up north. So here's Isaac Rodriguez working with 2 men on at first and second, delivers outside for ball 1 to Connor DeBenin. So as you said, Albert, top of the 5th between Cuesta and Glendale, that is suspended. Play resumes tomorrow at 1 p.m. Both runners go. Moore down, evades the tag on a double steal. Catching everybody by surprise, and that was a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to score more. Here's Nico Luke, and do they get it? They do. Nice snag by Hudson. But Moore scores from third base, making it 4-2. Advancing to third is DeRosa on the throw over to first. So with 2 outs and a run across, this will bring up Dylan Kraus, the number 9 hitter. Delivery outside and low for Isaac Rodriguez. And here's what plagued Saddleback and actually both teams in the first game today. Wild pitches. The first 2 runs of the ball game for Saddleback came on wild pitches and then a home run. This is outside and again low. Jarosa standing at third base. And the winning run brought home for OCC in the bottom of the 10th inning was on a wild pitch. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning, 1 run across, no hits thus far. There's your strike. So run on no hits. Runners at first and second. They executed a double steal in the dirt. So it's 3-1. And a ground ball up the middle. 8 up by the shortstop. Thrown over to first for the second out. So that's where we sit. 4 runs for Saddleback, 2 runs for OCC, 7 hits for OCC, 5 hits for Saddleback. This one's popped high in the air from Kraus. Giving chase is Nickel Luke, and he gets it. So 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 5.5, it's Saddleback 4 and OCC 2. This is Saddleback Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert, Corey, hanging out in Mission Viejo, listening to good music, enjoying a good lunch, eating good snacks, and a long cleanup as we're here in the 3rd game of this series.
Hopefully not too long of a cleanup. Fingers crossed.
We can only hope, as Lee's still on the rubber, towing it. Right-hander from Seoul, trying to do some damage on that infield. Krauts, Takata, DeBenin.
Let's just hope that the good folks at Saddleback are kind enough to leave the lights on for us while we're breaking everything down.
If you don't have a center field angle in inning 7, 8, 9, don't adjust your screen. And if you don't hear Albert for 7, 8, 9, you know what happened. You're just going to get that sideline look. In left field, JT Crabb. In center field, Owen Wessel. And Rogers. Devin Rogers in right field now, taking over for Kobe Williams. So Matthew Deutsch, Bryson Hoyer, and Andrew Nicoluk will be the 3 up, 7, 8, 9 for the Bobcats. So 2-0. You show me the next person who has been agreeing and happy with the umpire behind home plate today in either game. That will be the first, and there's a strike down the heart, 2-1. Which at least they've been consistent. Spoke too early, huh? 3 balls and 1 strike. No outs, leadoff hitter Matthew. Looking to get on base his early attempts. Double, full out in his second at bat. Looking at his third at bat now. Fouled back. Runs it full, 3-2. Payoff pitch popped up. Takada clears everyone out, makes the catch with 2 hands. So first out will bring up Bryson Hoyer, who walked and grounded out in his first 2 at-bats in this ball game. Bottom of the 6th inning with a 2-run lead, trying to get some insurance runs. The Bobcat faithful are hoping for a few more of those. Popped up into left field, shallow, and making the basket catch is going to be Taylor Takada. So the shortstop with the basket catch makes it 2 in a row for him. Outstanding play by Takada.
Very fortunate to avoid the collision in the outfield, though. Came very, very close to an outright tragedy for OCC.
Yeah, coming in from left field was JT Crabb. And I don't believe Crabb would have made the catch. He was sliding for it. That's inside and high. Andrew, the number 9 hitter, sacrificed and grounded out in his first 2 at-bats. Delivery from Lee. Catches the outside on the front part. 1-1. On deck will be Castelli. Same spot, same result, 1-2. Lee delivers a 1-2 pitch. Strike number 3.
Gotta look at this one again. I think the umpire just kind of gave it to Lee there, but it was kind of borderline pitch right on the black.
That was outside, but nonetheless, he gets the call, ends the inning 1-2-3 for Orange Coast. Let's see if that ignites him. Moving to the top of the 7th inning. And they'll bring up the top of the order with Wessel, Takada, and Late. And we mentioned earlier the 150th meeting was game number 2 of this series. So 151 meetings all time. As we mentioned, the last 5 years, OCC has the lead at 11-6. When you look at these team comparisons, earned run average, coming into this ball game, it was 4.89 for Saddleback and 6.83 for Orange Coast. On-base percentage is really where that first game we saw today really paid dividends. They got on base, not a lot of hits, but 394 for Saddleback and 382 made that defense work, made the pitchers work, and extra base hits. 23rd ranked in the state was Saddleback with 129. 34th ranked was OCC with 120. So that's how the teams came into this series matched up. And Isaac Rodriguez still towing. He delivers the first ball in the dirt. Defense behind him and his battery mate unchanged. Little hitch or hesitation for Isaac Rodriguez right before delivery. Line foul. Good cut by Wessel.
Great sound right off the bat, but just a little early on the timing.
Wessel's been a problem for the Bobcats today once he gets on base. Wicked curve. 2-2. 2-2, top of the 7th inning. And promptly throws it in the dirt. Rodriguez, as we said, from Bakersfield. Into right field. That's going to be a base hit for Wessel. He's turning for second. Chased down by Hoyer. Gets it back into the infield. And Owen Wessel still causing problems, leading off the top of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Taylor Takata. Wessel is back. So with no outs, leadoff runner aboard. 7th inning and down 2. That's a 8th hit of the game. Wessel, his first hit of this one. Game number 3. Winner moves on, loser does not. Good block by Deutsch behind the plate. Wessel with that hit, 2 for 4. The oven mitt on his left hand. A threat to steal. Stole the base earlier in the 1st inning after he singled and led off the game. Came around to score. Wessel, Santa Ana, went to Mater Dei High School. Just misses, 1-0. So make it 2-0 is a count to Takata. Throws back in time, easy. Now, but you look at a player like Wessel standing at first in a quick throw. How much of a distraction is he to Rodriguez right now? And again, what he's done, stealing bases throughout this series, and throws behind, and this one's too easy. He's standing on second easily. And so you don't have to worry about him on first base any longer. Now you got to worry about how you want to move him on to third base. Taylor Takata struck out, flew out, popped out, but with a 3-0 count. You're looking for 2 strikes. And you're looking at 2 pitches. And make it 1 because you walked him. And now you got Zach late coming up with action in the bullpen for Saddleback. This might be it for Isaac Rodriguez. And late grounded out, singled, and struck out in his 3 at-bats with runners at first and second. You're giving your time guys in the bullpen to warm up, because these next 2 bounders with no out, you can't afford to put either one on base. Zach late, even though he's 1 for 3, getting hot this game. On deck will be JT Crabb, had an RBI single in the 1st inning, singled in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 5th. And that is going to be it for Isaac Rodriguez. And we'll see who they bring in. So top of the 7th inning. And they're going to bring in Jake Porter, 6'1" right-hander from Tesoro High School. 6'1", 205. Number 39 is getting his 10th appearance of the season, 2-1 coming into this appearance. In 17 innings pitched, he struck out 11, walked 4. So we've got time here. So to reiterate the baseball in SoCal, Cerritos, the number 1 seed, they move on to the Super Regionals, May 9th to 11th, double elimination. RCC and Long Beach City College are in that 3-team bracket. So again, Cerritos, Long Beach City from the South Coast Conference, RCC from the OEC. So the 2 best conferences in California are represented there. Cuesta and Glendale, they finish up tomorrow in that rubber match, but Palomar, the number 2 seed, they advance with Mount Sac. So Glendale and Cuesta have 2 powerhouses waiting for them. And in the Santa Ana bracket, Santa Ana, Golden West, and Santa Barbara are the 3 teams there. 2 more teams representing the OEC. The number 3 seed in Golden West, the number 6 seed in Santa Ana. And the winner of this ball game looking to face another OEC team, Fullerton. And the number 4 seed, they'll be traveling to LA Valley in their 3-team double elimination. That almost hit late. So Porter's first pitch was a ball inside. Runner at second, that's inside as well. So the runner at second is Wessel. And the runner at first base is Takata. Infield playing double play depth, no outs. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Saddleback hanging on to a 4-2 lead. 2-0 deliveries, fouled back. Late not looking for a walk. Coming into the series, 22 extra base hits. Ground ball to third, first baseline, and it gets past Hudson all the way to the line at 328. That's going to score Wessel from second. Here comes Takata from first. He's in there to tie it up. On a bases clearing double from Zach Late. And we're all knotted up 4 apiece in the top half of the 7th inning.
And Jacob Hudson was right there at first base. Ranged a little bit to his left, and it just got right past his glove. Not far enough to really make a diving effort, but not close enough for Eaton to have to really, truly go down and get for it down to a knee. Just a really tough play, sharply lined right past him.
So the Pirates, again, Albert, doing Pirate things. 2 runs and 2 hits. Giving them 9 hits for the day. This one's popped up to the right side, and that's well out of play.
And more importantly, still only 1 out in this inning and a runner still in scoring position for OCC.
JT Crab now. The runner on second, swing and a miss, 0-2. So 9 hits. Nine hits, 4 runs, no errors. Outside, just misses 1 and 2. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Saddleback. So if you thought this was going to be a one and done, this ain't college basketball. That's Jake Porter. He delivers, and it's fouled. JT Crab finding his rhythm now. The righty with late standing at second. Wind up, and this one's belted into left field. JT Crab. So that's 337 plus some. You looking 350 on the home run to give him a 6-4 lead. Oh my goodness.
With the amount of arms left in the Saddleback bullpen or bench, there might not be a whole lot left that Saddleback can do other than really take it to the Pirates offensively.
And the Pirates blast past the Bobcats here in the top of the 7th inning. With
still no outs.
Exactly. No outs and 4 runs across, 10 hits, and the 10th
was a bomb. I couldn't even see it on the camera. I'm like, it's out there somewhere. Just going to point the camera in its general direction. Hopefully someone sees it.
But I think the bird watching in left field and center field and all through this stadium, you knew it was gone as they blasted by him. 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning. And the Pirates riding high. Saddleback's got to get some type of control here. They don't want to let things get too wide open. 2 runs is nothing in the OEC and community college baseball. You don't want to get down more than that. But still, no outs and a 2-0 count to Sebastian Moore. 2-1 now. Again, the Pirates 16-25. Bobcats 25-15 coming into today. Saddleback took the first game of the series yesterday, 2-0. Sebastian Moore wanted some of that. Swings through in 2-2. Game 2 earlier today. Won 9-8 in extra innings in the 10th on a wild pitch. Orange Coast took that one, and now Orange Coast really finding their rhythm. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Way to come back if you're Jake Porter. Porter gave up that big bomb but came back and struck him out. Nice piece of pitching. Devin Rogers takes the first strike. Rogers under 25 at-bats before pinch hitting in today's ball game. Had a big single, 182 in his at-bats in those limited appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flew out to right field in his first at-bat, taking over for Kobe Williams in right field. 2-1 now. Pop to the right side one more time, out of play. Hudson off the line at first base. Allen at third. Waits on it. Hudson approaches, grounds to Porter, and tosses for the second out. And this will bring up Tanner Gerosa. Grounded out, singled, and walked, and stole a base. And that was last inning in the 6th, though 2 outs. For Gerosa catching. JT Crabb, the left fielder who hit that home run, caught the first game. Caught all 10 in that win. So Gerosa takes over for him behind the plate in this matchup. Curveball for strike 1, 1-1. There's strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The shift is on in the outfield. Big gap between left center and down the left field line. Let's see if they're not thinking they can catch up to the fastball for Porter outside. 2-2. Jake delivers, high stretch, and there's strike 3 called. So that will end the 7th, Albert. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 6.5 gone. It's now Orange Coast 6, Saddleback 4. On SportsNetUSA.net, and that big 2-run blast from JT Crabb really took the wind out of the Bobcat sails.
Yeah, a huge 4 spot here on the top of the 7th. Take a nice 2-run lead for OCC. For Saddleback, I'm not quite sure what there is left to do other than really get your bat swinging, because clearly your arms aren't doing it for you right now. The bats really need to wake up and really need to take it to the house to this Pirate bullpen.
And no better time than now. Bottom of the 7th inning, they have the top of the order with Castelli, Tanaka, and Allen. If any of those get on, Bouchane in the 4 spot, Barajas in the 5 spot, Chan-Hee Lee in his 2nd in his 3rd inning of work. So Lee, the freshman from Seoul, battling the sophomore Castelli. From down the street in Mission Viejo. Starts him off with the slow off speed. 0-1. Righty against lefty. Fastball is low. 1-1. Foul tip. 1-2. And again, Lee, sneaky fast and good movement. Delivers low, 2-2. So 1 run in the first, 1 run in the 6th, 4 in the 7th. For OCC, 1 run in the first, 2 in the 2nd, and 1 in the 5th for Saddleback. So far, only 5 hits. And swing and a miss. Now takes Tanaka, so Makani steps to the plate. Single and a line out and a strikeout. Went 0 for 3 in the first game. Last game had 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI. The outside part of the plate is generous. Or I should say generously given in both of these games. Jammed him on the inside, flares it to left field, got a chance. It does drop. And just checks up down that left field line, and the base hit for Makani Tanaka. So now J.C. Allen checks in on the right-handed, wearing number 9, looking for his 13th home run of the season. Flew out to left field his first at-bat, then walked and grounded out to the pitcher his last time at-bat. So 1 for 3, or excuse me, 0 for 2 in game 3. So 0-1. Tanaka is a threat to steal at first. Blow by, 0-2. But Albert with 1 out. And the runner on first, you don't want to try to risk that. You got to get that run across somehow, some way. And that's high, 1-2. And oh, beautiful jump, too easy. And Tanaka said, if you ain't gonna pay me no mind, I might as well get on over to second base and get myself into scoring position for our guy who leads the team in RBIs, J.C. Allen.
That's exactly what you need to do in this situation. Down by 2 runs with 1 out, need to at least give your offense a chance to put one across.
Because we was thinking the safe route. Just get on, keep them on, move those runners. Check swing, high heat, no match.
Take a looking at the replay. Just barely got a piece of it. Catcher held on to it. Fouled out.
Exactly. Looked like he's trying to play pickleball out there. Lee. Third strikeout, second of the inning. Tanaka standing at second base, stole it easily. He's got 12. 2 outs. There's a line drive in the left field. Crab comes up. Tanaka, he's going to score from second, and that brings it a 6-5 ball game. How important was McConney's steal a moment ago?
I was about to say, Chen-Hee Lee was just really finding his stride in this game right up until that single was laced.
Yeah, Bouchane did a nice job of just waiting on it. Jacob timed it. And that's going to be it for Chen-Hee Lee. He's going to give way to Zach Dendecker. Small guy out there coming on approach, 6'8", 220. Out of El Toro High School, Lake Forest local product, and Dendecker on the season skips to the mound.
So Lee goes to the bullpen with some nice applause from the OCC faithful. I think it's well deserved. 2 runs across 3 innings of relief work, one of them being a home run, and a massive one at that. I'd say, pretty solid relief outing, all things considered, and he leaves right now, as things stand, in line to get the win should OCC hold on.
So 6-5 your score, 7 hits now for the Bobcats. Rodrigo Barajas has one of those hits. A home run. He steps up to the batter's box against the 6'8" Dendecker. Eighth appearance, I should say. At 7.1 innings pitched. So in those 7 innings, gotta wonder if you're gonna be patient here with 2 outs. 9 walks and 5 Ks coming into the series. Yesterday, pitched an inning, gave up an earned 1 run, walked 1, struck out 1. So we shall see. So on 1 inning of work, he gave up 1 earned run yesterday. Saddleback won that game 2-0. So we'll see what he has in store for today. As Jacob Bouchane, who brought in Tanaka, stands at first base. Rodrigo Barajas.
So for Barajas here, you want to be aggressive, but not patient. You want to be nice and disciplined. If it looks good and in the zone, go hack at it. But if it doesn't look anywhere near close, wait for your pitch.
And he does exactly what he did the last time at bat. First pitch swinging and gets on base. Last time he hit that home run. This time he was patient enough. Said, okay, I've seen enough.
Hey, aggressive. He brought that aggressivity.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So runners on first and second with 2 outs. And this will be Jacob Hudson.
So really good single there from Barajas, welcoming Dendecker into the series.
And this one, first pitch swinging again. It's going to drop. It does drop, and that's going to bring in 1, which is Bouchane. And that'll tie the game up. He scores from second, and Jacob gets an RBI single.
And now Saddleback with 2 outs, got runners on the corners and a tie game. It's going to bring up Deutsch.
Matthew doubled, scored a run, flew out, and popped out. And again, Dendecker, what they saw from him yesterday, they put a run up on the board. What they see from him today, they put a run up on the board. 9 hits now, 6 runs apiece. Again, that's low in the dirt. So the runner on third is Barajas. He's the DH, caught the first game. Jacob Hudson at first base with 2 outs. Just brought in that last run. Ground ball. The Benin scoops, and that's the 3rd out to Takata. But again, not before your damage is done. They bring in 2 runs. How many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. No errors and 2 left on base. So at the end of 7, we're back up even 6-6 on SportsNetUSA.net.
Feeling a little deja vu.
Deja vu all over again. It's one of those things where both these teams have seen each other so much throughout the history of these programs that no one can get 2 up. I mean, we've got a 2-run lead. That's nothing. We've got a 5-run lead. That's nothing. So as joyous as you get off that 2-run bomb that JT Crab hit, well, the Bobcats come right back and say, yeah, we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to matriculate our way to 2 runs, and they get those, and they tied it up. So if you thought anything less than 7, 8, and 9 were going to be nothing less than, okay, what you can do, I can do better, you were wrong. And so this is the last game of the day, softball-wise and baseball-wise, in the 3C2A in the state. So we move to the top of the 8th inning, where we'll have DeBenin, Kraus, and Wessel. So Jake Porter still riding that hill. First pitch swinging up. Jacob Hudson strolls over. Nonchalantly makes the catch. And that is 1 out in the top of the 8th. Min Jun Cho in the bullpen for the Bobcats. Dylan Kraus grounded the 3rd, struck out, popped to short. And Porter delivers high. Hudson at first, Castelli at second. Nicoluk at short, 2-0. J.C. Allen at third. Bouchain in left. Tanaka in center. Warrior in right. Deutsch behind the plate. Porter delivers. 1 bounce, J.C. Allen. 2 outs. Bring up Wessel. Single, scored a run, stole a base. Or single, stole a base, scored a run. Struck out, flew out, singled, and scored a run in his plate appearances up till now. Strike number 1 as OCC took the first game, game number 2 in this series, 9-8 and 10. Wild pitch, they walked it off, 9-8. We sit here 6-6. Head away, feet away, eyes to the sky. Swing and strike 2. 2 outs, top 8. In the dirt. And Saddleback's got to be feeling themselves right now as they think they've got the momentum sliding back their way. Hoyer, Nicolook, and Castelli. They'll be 2 up on their bottom half of the 8th inning. And there's Wessel pops up. Hudson giving chase. A lot of room to the right side. He makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. So that's the end of 8, the numerator side. And now we get to the denominator of Saddleback. After they tied it up last inning, they get Hoyer, Nicolook, and Castelli. Big Zach Still, 6'8" on the mound. A little bit. You know, I'm having fun because I'm not always out here, so this is a good time for me. Bottom of the 8th inning, score tied at 6. 10 hits for Orange Coast, 9 hits for Saddleback. No errors in this one. 2 by Orange Coast last game, 3 by Saddleback in the first game of today. That was game number 2. Saddleback is the home team, the host team, for this third and decisive match between 2 long-time Orange Empire Conference teams. So Bryson walked and scored a run, grounded to second, and flew out to shallow left field in his at-bats. B8 is where we're at. Dendecker, long strides, delivers outside. Jarosa still his battery mate. Nothing's changed on the infield with Krause and Takata. Gabinin and Late. Popped up high in the left field underneath. JT Crab makes the catch one-handed. Nicolook now steps up in center field as Wessel. Devin Rogers in right field. One. Ground ball, Takata. Side saddles it up for 2. Ben Castelli. Singled and scored a run, RBI single. Struck out in his at-bats. 2 for 4. Let's see if he goes 3 for 5. Or 2 for 5 here at this at-bat versus the pitcher, Dendecker. Outside. Ben looking to really drive one today. It's been close. Not here. Shallow center, ranging back is Takata. He makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. And Albert, if you wanted a way to end the inning and move to your top half of the ninth inning, that's the inning you want. It's something where you don't give Saddleback any type of momentum, and you come here and you're going to try to take it yourself. Takada, who makes the catch, starts the inning with Late and Crab. Then Moore, if any one of those gets on base. Jake Porter steps out, the righty, for Saddleback, trying to close out this and get Saddleback back in there so the Bobcats can score 1 run. We shall see. So Deutsch doing a nice job behind the plate. No changes on the defensive side for Saddleback. Hudson, who's had a solid campaign today. Both games played solid first. Costelli showing why he's a Gold Glove at second. Nicoluk, some of the best defense he's played all season in these 2 games here today. J.C. Allen at third base has played solid. No errors in this one. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. OCC. Looking to add their 7th run. Saddleback trying to shut them down in left field. Bouchane, Tanaka, and Hoyer.
And no, that's not thunder you hear. That is the raucous support of the OCC faithful.
Not a far drive. And like we said earlier at the beginning, nice crowd here at Bobcat Field, and everybody stayed. Outside 1-1. And again, it's not a short day. It's been a long day. When it's been one of those long days, it's going to pay dividends for one team. The winner next week travels to LA Valley. High and outside, 2-1. Where LA Valley, the host team, and Fullerton are awaiting. This one's in the right field. Hoyer giving chase and makes a one-handed grab. So Late had a 2 RBI double his last time at bat. It's 2 for 4. Big lefty chases. I mean, again, he split that and bottom just dropped. Tried the same pitch. Late said, "Nah, I'm good on that one. 1-1." Crushed to right field, but well foul.
You can hear the fans groaning of Saddleback saying, "Oh no, not again."
It's just one of those where nobody really thinks it's over until it's actually over. Grounder, Nicoluk playing behind second, ranges and makes the play. And again, that's coaching. That's coaching, and that's where you've seen these teams play many, many times. So JT Crab, what did he do last time at bat? Well, they still haven't found that ball. Two-run home run over the left field fence. Strike one. And you know, that's been consistent all game long, that particular strike called. Goes with this one to the right side.
Ooh, just into the netting, preventing all the cars in the parking lot.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 9. Well away, 1-2. One-two delivery, foul. So count stays at 1-2. I want to thank everybody for watching SportsNetUSA.net and Saddleback Baseball. Been a lovely Saturday. All day Saturday outside, 2-2. Everybody who's joined us all season, whether it's Cypress baseball, Cypress softball, Saddleback baseball, does not matter. We thank you. 2-2 delivery, line right back up the middle. Crab stays hot. Crab is now 4 for 5. The 11th hit for the Pirates with 2 outs. Sebastian Moore.
Starting to lose a little bit of sunlight here down in Mission Viejo.
Oh, that's gone. That's been gone.
I mean, some mostly clouds. I'd say we've probably got another 20 minutes left before those hills off in the distance really go boop.
What button do I need to press? I'll send you out early to center field. 1-0 pitch, low inside. 2-0, 2 outs, and an uncommon happening so far in this game rather than last game. Nobody's been hit by a pitch. I think there were 6 hit batters in the game earlier today. Wessel got hit twice in his first 2 at-bats. There's a reason for the helmets. But this one pretty clean, pitching-wise. 6 pitchers used for Saddleback in the first game. 3 used by OCC. That's inside. And that's ball 3. So 3-0 with 2 outs. Jake Porter got the first 2 outs quickly on 4 pitches. And now, base hit to Crab. Down 3-0 to Moore. Top of the 9th inning.
We'll see if Moore is given the green light here. He's 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts.
And he walks. So now we've got Devin Rogers. He's 0 for 2. But he was 1 for 2 in the first game. And his 1 hit tied up the ball game in the 9th. So Rogers at the plate. Crab at second. Moore at first. 2 outs. Porter delivers. Outside, 1-0. And with 2 outs, you gotta focus on the hitter. I think that's what they might be talking about here. Focus on the hitter with 2 outs. If they go, they go. Cho is in the bullpen for the Bobcats.
And he's been up and getting ready for a while, so it feels like any moment now he could be entering into this game. And with 2 out and the Pirates threatening, might be decision time here for the Saddleback head coach.
So 6 pitchers used in the first. This is the third. Jake Porter is the third pitcher used in the second game today. So 9 total. 3 for the Pirates, 4 now in this game for the Pirates. So we'll see with 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, game tied at 6. 2 runners on base, Crab at second. High delivery. Jake Porter gets it back, 1-1. That's what you need after a mound visit, that next pitch strike. Devin Rogers. You got to be thinking next pitch strike. Outside, 2-1. So either way, this might be the last batter for Jake Porter, whether you get out of the inning or you walk them. 2-1's the count. 2 outs on the board.
Woohoo!
2 balls, 2 strikes. I'll take
That was
it if
way
you're a
off
Bobcat
the zone looking at the replay. But the count is evened up, 2-2. And the Pirates fans are not pleased.
And the Bobcats fans say, I'll take it. There's one. Hudson scoops and taps for the 3rd out. So no runs, 1 hit. No errors, 2. Left on. So we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning, tied at 6. Makani Tanaka, J.C. Allen, and Jacob Bouchain are the 3 due up for the Bobcats.
How much room you got left on your score sheet there?
You know what? I figure since this is the last game of the series and winner goes home, if he don't score here, I'm not keeping score anymore. I've decided that I'm keeping score, and if we miss it, we miss it. That's what live stats are for. Go to your live stats, you keep score that way. I got a phone, that's how I'll keep score from now on. We're old school, we try to keep score here instead of relying. So 6 runs, 11 hits for OCC, 6 runs and 9 hits for Saddleback. That's what I'll pay attention to from now on after this, but we'll see if Saddleback can walk it off in the 9th. That would be fitting on a day like this.
Absolutely. Pirates, of course, walked it off on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 10th inning in the first game of this, now doubleheader today. We'll see if the Bobcats can treat them in kind. Ideally here in the 9th.
There you go. And who steps up to the plate to lead off? The best hitter in the OEC.
With on-base percentage.
Tanaka had a triple in the first game. Dendecker delivers high and outside. Tanaka singled, lined out. Struck out, singled, scored a run. J.C. Allen, due up next, flew out, walked. And there's a foul ball. Goes off his front of his leg. 1-1. Allen is due. Who's on deck, flew out to left, intentionally walked, grounded out, and struck out. And then there's Bouchane. Single, walk, strikeout, single RBI outside. 2-1. Two. Dendecker stands 6'8". Delivers in the dirt. Good eye by Tanaka. Game 1 of this series won by Saddleback 2-0. 6 hits, 2 errors. OCC had 3 hits and 1 error. Both teams between them stranded 15 runners. Ball 4. So Tanaka, the last time he was on base, he singled and got there. He stole a base. No outs, leadoff runner, J.C. Allen.
You never really want to put the leadoff runner on base, particularly if you have the skills and abilities of Tanaka.
And I think you sacrifice him over. You got to sacrifice. You need that run. You need a good enough lead. In the dirt, great save by Jarosa. Great save by Tanner Jarosa. If he don't come up with that.
Tanaka standing at second base, and all it takes is a nice little single.
Yeah, and that way you don't need to sacrifice Allen. Outstanding save by Jarosa. You want that lead. There he goes. He's there.
Easy steal for Tanaka.
His second stolen base. And now this is what makes baseball interesting. You're going to still sacrifice your guy. You're going to have Allen hit away. You got to believe Tanaka's fast enough on a single to score from second if he gets a good enough lead.
With J.C. Allen 0 for 3 today, it really depends on how much faith and ability you have in him at this moment.
And he squares. In the dirt, doesn't matter. Dendecker, wild. And now you put that bat back. You ain't butting nobody. We're not sacrificing anybody. Swing out your shoes, young man.
Unless your Mark is like, let's see that suicide.
No.
I want to see that suicide.
Mark would get no vote in this. Swing out your shoes.
Nah, you want to put it in play. You want to hit it as deep as you can. Doesn't have to be out of the park.
No, that's what I said. Swing out your shoes.
It's got to be enough to sack him in.
Make that connection. Inside. I flinched on that one. 3-1.
Well, you do have slower reaction skills compared to me. I'm like, no, I'm good.
3 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Dendecker, Allen, inside, ball 4. So Bouchane, been on base twice. Struck out last time at bat, RBI single. Infield is in. And you really can't put him on base because do you really want to face Rodrigo Barajas?
No.
Jacob Bouchane got a chance. McConney on third. McConney, Tanaka. Could be the team's MVP at third base. The winning run. The series decider. Standing on third. These two OEC teams well equipped. There goes Allen. Second and third. No throw. Dendecker. 1-1 count, no outs. Bottom of the ninth, there's a flare, and it drops. And Bouchain beats out the throw. So you look at the bases loaded, and how is a base hit beneficial?
At least you get an out at any base at this point now.
Well, there you go. You didn't walk the batter, but you got bases loaded, and then now you can go home.
And it doesn't have to be a tag play. Now it's a force play.
So that was beneficial to the Orange Coast Pirates with no outs.
Which is still weird to say, but it's the situational truth.
So what they're going to do is they're going to bring Sebastian Moore. Or they're going to switch gloves. Okay, he's bringing them in. And they're going to have 5 infielders now. Owen Wessel. So 2 outfielders. They remain. So Devin Rogers in right. In left is JT Crabb. So at first base, you have Zach Late. Second base, Connor DeBennet. Owen Wessel comes in for that 5th infielder. Shortstop is going to be Taylor Takada. Third base is Dylan Krause. So now Rodrigo Barajas, the sophomore. Who has 1 home run already. That was a solo variety. And that was in the 5th. We're here in the 9th, bottom of the 9th. 6 runs apiece. So you know it's going to be a strike. Be aggressive here. But that's high. So anything on the ground beneficial to the
Disciplined.
Pirates.
Aggressive, disciplined.
We need an EPMD swing. Jumping out shoes and socks right now. Outside, 2-0. And what you say, a walk is as good as a hit?
In this circumstance, absolutely.
If you're a Bobcat fan, you want to go home. Bottom of the 9th inning, this decides to go to Super Regionals, and that's the ball game, folks. Rodrigo Barajas scores Makani Tanaka, and they move on to the Super Regionals, where they'll be facing in a double elimination between LA Valley and Fullerton College. So 7-6 is your final score. 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Bobcats. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Once again, Saddleback moves on. They take the series 2-1. This has been Bobcat Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net.